Hi there, Heath Hyatt here, coming to you with another leadership video. I'm excited to be with you today, and please feel free to share these videos with anyone that you think might benefit from the content in one way, shape, or form. So I'm here at my house, and looking forward to just coming to you and having a talk with you about some leadership concepts. Specifically, the leadership concept I want to share with you today, I'm calling Do Something. Do something. Here's the point. When we as leaders feel like we're trapped, when we feel like we're stuck and we can't move, and we've been checkmated, maybe it's a financial situation, maybe it's a volunteer situation, maybe it's a location situation or building situation. There have been times in our leadership where we feel like we are boxed in, and man, I hate times like that. But I want to share with you some things you can do to kind of break out of that box and get to another place where God wants you to be, instead of just staying frozen. I know for me, a lot of times I feel frozen. I feel like I can't move. I don't know where to go, what to do. And here's some things that I've done or I do that kind of helps to unlock that block that seems to come into our leadership sometimes. Well, first thing, do something. That's the name of the concept. When you're feeling trapped or confused, and you're just feeling like there's no move and you're checkmated, do something. The last thing you want to do is nothing. I would rather us do something that's not even a great idea, as long as it's an idea. There's nothing worse than doing nothing. And so sometimes we even feel like, well, we don't know what to do, so I'm going to wait. And there's some logic to that. But I tell you what, don't be paralyzed. You got to work out of that paralyzation, especially if it's a mental paralyzation that grabs a hold of you. So here's how to make a change somehow. Here's how some tips or some thoughts on how to make a change. One, set up a prayer meeting where you seek God together with your team. Bring some people together that care about your situation, care about your organization, care about where you're at. Explain the problem, that you feel like you're stuck, you feel like you're locked, you feel like God wants to go further, but you've got these situations that are beyond your control, that have got you stuck. And I tell you, don't underestimate the power of a prayer meeting to open the dam and break forth the water and just to have the grace and flow of God come back into your situation. So I would start right there. Start with the prayer meeting if you don't know where else to start. Also, you can paint or decorate a room. Sometimes when your ministry's or your organization's just not going well, make a change, rearrange something, paint a room, upgrade a piece of equipment. Just a little something that, especially if it doesn't cost much money, do a little something that doesn't cost much money that would make an impact and show people that this situation's going forward, this ministry's going forward. We are not staying where we're at. Another thing I do this a lot, I have a brainstorm meeting with your team and share with them that you're trapped. So you could have a prayer meeting and then you get switched to like a brainstorm meeting, or maybe these are two separate meetings. And in the brainstorm meeting, you just lay out the idea. We're trapped, and we need to do something. We need to come up with something. And I remember some tips to brainstorming. We don't want to brain breeze. We want to brainstorm. And one of the keys to creating a storm is writing down every possible idea. And see, what tends to happen is when you're in a brainstorm meeting, you'll always have a couple people try to poo-poo this or that idea. They'll always say, well, we don't have money for that. We can't do that right now. We can't do this. And everything you throw out there just gets shot out of the sky. So you got to make sure that you lay the rules of brainstorming, which is everything's on the table. We can do anything. We can do big things as long as we take them one bite at a time and get that brainstorm momentum going and let people start dreaming of what it would be like to make the changes. And let your heart start dreaming. Let your imagination go in the brainstorm as you begin to think what's really going to happen and how God's really going to turn it around. Another thing I like to do is I like to make a calendar of things I would like to see this ministry do. So once maybe this is step 2 after the brainstorm, where you can just sit down with yourself and sit down in your ministry and say, what would we like to do? Maybe it's a youth ministry. You can sit down and say, we need a youth lock-in, or we need a youth outreach, or maybe we can bring in a band, or let's do something and put it on a calendar and begin to work your team towards that event. And I tell you, you'll be surprised how much breakthrough can come just by putting something together like that, where people join together, they see a success, they feel like they've accomplished something, and then you can get the momentum rolling back in your direction. So here's my thought to leaders. Do something. Do not let paralysis set into your ministry or your life. Do something, make a change. I'm telling you, just the faith that it takes to take a step forward in that change is really going to make a difference. All right? We'll see you next time.